The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus withdrew with his disciples to the lakeside, and great crowds from Galilee followed him. From Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, Transjordania, and the region of Tyre and Sidon, great numbers who had heard of all he was doing came to him. And he asked his disciples to have a boat ready for him because of the crowd, to keep him from being crushed. For he had cured so many that all who were afflicted in any way were crowding forward to touch him. And the unclean spirits, whenever they saw him, would fall down before him and shout, "You are the Son of God." But he warns them strongly not to make him known. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Just like we heard yesterday in the reflection, there has been a lot of opposition from the Pharisees and the high priest, the scribes, on the works of Jesus. And even on 3 occasions we have heard about this, Jesus being attacked. Why is he being attacked for? For all the good things he is doing. He's being attacked for the good things he is doing, for healing the sick, for delivering those who have been held captive, and other things, other good things that he has been doing in the lives of people and changing the lives of people. He's preaching with authority and doing all good things that you could ever think of. And in one way or another, we find ourselves as like the Pharisees and those who are being moved, not by anything, but by jealousy. Jealousy. Because Jesus is getting a lot of popularity. Jesus is getting a huge following. And the same thing we hear, even stronger in the first reading, when this nobody, this shepherd boy who was reluctantly being anointed by Samuel, David, as king, and now he has gone to battle, a battle that was very fierce, that none of the soldiers of the Israelites dared to fight Goliath. And this little boy, David, went with the mighty power of God, and he defeated Goliath, like we heard in the gospel of yesterday. And he does that not for his own good, but for the good of his people, Israel. He defeats Goliath, and therefore he defeats the Philistines. The Philistines flee from the hands of the Israelites, and then they come back home, and everybody is happy. The women come out and they begin to sing and they begin to praise David even more than Saul. And what happens? Saul gets jealous. He gets jealous. Now, one thing that we find ourselves in this, in one way or another, we have been victims of jealousy, and we also have been very jealous in one way or another of other people. And one thing about jealousy is that the people we are jealous of are always innocent. They know nothing about what is happening. At times, they are not even aware of what we are going through. And on our part, for us who are jealous, it deprives us of everything. Jealousy deprives us of peace. It deprives us even of the blessings that we are supposed to receive, because instead of focusing on the grace that God is about to give us, our eyes are turned towards some other person. And then we miss that blessing. We miss that grace that we are supposed to receive because our eyes are focused on the success of another person. And this vice, jealousy, has been there from the very beginning. You remember when just the time Adam and Eve were driven from the garden, what happens? Cain and Abel. For the very fact that Abel's offerings were received by God and those of Cain were rejected, Cain killed Abel. Because Abel knew nothing about that. He didn't do that. It was not his fault that that had happened, but he received the punishment for what he did not know. Think about Joseph and his brothers. Joseph being loved by Jacob more than his other brothers, and his brothers sold him into slavery. Was it Jacob's fault? No. He had no control of the situation. He did not force his father to love him more than his other brothers, but he had to suffer the consequences of what he knew nothing about. And many other stories that could follow, and then we hear also in the gospel of today about Jesus being jealous because he has a large following. And of course, in the first reading, David begins to flee from Saul, and this continues all the way through until Saul dies, even chasing David to kill him. And this is what jealousy can do. It deprives us of everything. It deprives us of peace. It deprives us of the blessings that we could have received or the graces that we could receive. It deprives us of friendship. It makes us suffer a lot for something we are not supposed to suffer about. And this is a call for us to remind us of this vice that haunts us all the time, jealousy. And at times when we are jealous, it's just important to ask ourselves, what has the person who we are jealous of, what have those people, what have they done to us? What have they done to deserve whatever thing we are doing to treat them in the way we want to treat them? At times, even in school, you just realize somebody is doing very well, maybe he's topping the class, and then you just get jealous that this person, why is he the first and not me? And then trouble begins from there, and you begin to hate the person for no good reason. There is no reason why we get, maybe we get jealous for a reason, but there is no reason for us to treat people the way we treat them just because we are jealous of how they are doing. Jealousy is really one of the tools that the devil can use, that he uses even in the world that we have today. Even among us, in a place like this, in an institution, you would find it so much. In the church today, you would find it even amongst priests, amongst bishops, who is driving the best car, who is living in a better house, who has the popularity. And that begins to nurture this jealousy in us. And things begin to go wrong. Things begin to go wrong when there is that weed. I will call it a weed because it is not good. That weed that has been planted in us by the devil. It is a call for us to refrain from this. Saul suffered all through his life because of being jealous of David. He tried to kill him, but he could not. And even when David had the opportunity to kill him, he did not, because he said, I don't know why this man wants to kill me, but I'm not going to do the same because I'm not jealous of him. So my dear brothers and sisters, jealousy is really a very strong vice that can really destroy us, and take away our peace, take away everything that we could receive from God. It is a grace today that we listen to these readings of today and we reflect on it. Maybe even at the moment, even as we speak, even as you listen to me, maybe there is somebody you are jealous of. Somebody maybe who is successful that you just feel you should be where he is. Maybe it's an opportunity for us to reflect and ask ourselves the fundamental questions and ask God for the grace to keep us away from this very terrible vice.